Hi, I'm Phyllis from southernfrugal.com. I had mentioned that I was going to get my blood work done, and that's what we did, and I wanted to share with y'all the results. Now, first of all, let me just go over about the cholesterol. Your LDL, of course, is the bad cholesterol, and the HDL is the good cholesterol. And what the HDL does is helps carry away some of the bad cholesterol. And then there are triglycerides. And from those three numbers, they get your total cholesterol. And the way that's figured is you've got your LDL number, then you've got your HDL number, and then you've got your triglycerides. And what they do to come up with your total cholesterol number is take 20% of your triglycerides and add that figure back to the LDL and the HDL. And that comes up with your total cholesterol. Now, according to the guidelines now, unless you have risk factors of heart disease or something like that, they want your cholesterol number to be 200, period, 200. If you have some kind of heart disease, peripheral artery disease, carotid artery disease, any of that, and there are other factors, if you're diabetic and that kind of thing, they want your cholesterol even lower. So today we'll just deal with everything is normal, right? So the way that you can find out more information about how the cholesterol is how the figure is computed, shall we say. What I did is I looked up first the American Heart Association, and I like the one on the Mayo Clinic best. And let's see, the one that I have up here now on my computer is from mayoclinic.org, and then the subtitle under that, diseases and conditions, and then under that is cholesterol levels, what number should you aim for? So I just think they explain it a little bit better. All right, so here's what I've compared for my own numbers. I've gotten all the information. I won't show you all that other stuff. Everything is normal. But the cholesterol, I did tell you I would show you. Now, everything else, calcium levels and all that are normal. But the cholesterol, I went ahead and compared from 2012. In fact, it was September of 2012. Now, what was going on in the summer of 2012 was we had a fantastic garden. We really did. And we were eating a lot more fresh vegetables for sure then. And so my cholesterol level at first glance looks like it's better in 2012, but the reality is it really wasn't. All right, so here are my numbers. And by the way, they do your blood pressure too, although we have a blood pressure machine and we check ours periodically. But my blood pressure was 108/67 and my heart rate was 72. I was very calm when I went in, right? That's probably what it is, but I do normally run a low blood pressure. I don't take blood pressure pills or anything, but my blood pressure has pretty well always been low. But anyway, so that's never been a concern. But I know for a lot of people it is, and so, if your blood pressure's high, you definitely need to take the blood pressure pills and keep that pressure down lower. But anyway, back to the LDL and the HDL. All right, so I've done this, but I'm not sure how well it'll show up on the camera. So I'll read it over and then I'll show it, see if we can do it that way. All right, so in September of 2012, so that was roughly 18 months ago, my total cholesterol was 225. Now, 200 is where they want it. That's where they want it, 200, so I'm a little over. All right, so then in November of 2013, so just a little over a year later, I'm doing videos, right? I'm doing all this cooking and pound cakes and Mississippi mud pies, you name it, I've done it. I mean, all y'all got to do is look back on the 400 and some videos I've done to see how many desserts I was making. But anyway, so my cholesterol, total cholesterol in November 2013 was 232. So it actually gone up 7 points. So then my doctor said, well, because he knew I'd been doing videos and doing a lot of cooking, he said, let's recheck you. Let's wait till after Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that and get on past all that. And sometime in January, let's recheck your cholesterol. So that's what we did. And now we had been doing the green smoothies. I kind of looked back on that. The first one we had was on December 19th. So we had been doing the green smoothies for a little over a month when I had my cholesterol checked. So I went from 225 in September of 2012. November 2013, I was at 232. And January of 2014, which was just really about a week ago, 228. So that's still, I'm borderline, you know, they want it lower though. But anyway, here was the interesting part. The HDL, which is your good cholesterol, and you can get that in a good place by eating a lot of vegetables and fruits. So in September of 2012, it was 50. Now remember, I told you we had the really nice garden, and we were at the, you know, we were at harvest time, and so we were eating a ton of fresh vegetables from the garden. So it was 50. Now on the HDL, they want you, the most ideal place would be as if you were at 60. So you want your HDL to be up higher, you want your LDL to be down lower. So then in November it was 52, so it'd come up a little bit, and in January it was 54. So I'm just 6 points from total perfect ideal. And I would have to tell you that that has to be from the green smoothies. It couldn't be from anything else, because obviously this time of year we don't really have a garden, or we had one but it didn't do well. But anyway, so then on the triglycerides. Now, I don't drink any alcohol products at all. I just don't drink any, because they take me down. You know, I like to feel up all the time, so I really don't even drink wine. I do cook with it sometimes though. But anyway, the triglycerides are to do with sugar levels and alcohol. If you drink alcohol, like if you drank 2 beers every night or something like that. So my triglycerides were 131 in September of 2012. Now ideal would be anywhere from 0 to 150 would be ideal. So mine was 131. So on that one, you're looking for the lower number. All right, so now after I'm making all the videos and the pound cakes and the fudge and all that stuff, November of 2013, it was 180. Way up, right? All right, so now we're back to January 2014, and it dropped back down to 167. So definitely better, but it's still not as good as it was in September. Now, as you get older, I think these numbers, they're going to want to watch these numbers a lot more. So anyway, that's the way it was. Now, my low density lipids were 26 in September, and in November they were 36, and now in January they're down to 33 again. So I had gone up, and now I'm on my way back down. So ideal on the low density lipids, it would be 30. So I'm about 3 points over on that. And over on my triglycerides, I'm in really good shape on my HDL, which is of course coming from the smoothies. That's where it's coming from. And my LDL needs to come down some. But I'm not at the place where they would say, well, you need to take some cholesterol lowering medicine. And I've got something to say about that. I know a lot of people who take the cholesterol lowering drugs, and you might be one of them. But boy, if you can do it with diet, it'd be so much better if you could, you know. But if you can, I feel sometimes like they don't try the diet first, you know. The doctors just go on and give you a prescription and that's it. I mean, they'll tell you, oh, you need to, you know, go on this diet or that diet, but they don't really push it, you know. It's just easier to write a prescription and have you take them, and that way they're okay and you're okay and everybody's okay. But if you can do it with your diet, you'd be so much better off. But anyway, so there are the figures. I looked back to see how many green smoothies we had done. I skipped, of course we skipped the time we went to the mountains because we didn't take the Vitamix. And a couple of Sundays we skipped, you know, to do with church, running late or something. I'm not sure why, but anyway, I posted 35 green smoothie videos. So, you know, that's how many we have drank in really a period of about a little over a month. So I think we're doing really well now. I think that the cholesterol is going to come down, and I think the HDL, which is the good cholesterol, is probably going to go up more. And we are going to start doing some juicing. And you know, the juicer just, it's hard. It really is. But I know it's the best kind of juicer, the kind that compresses the juice out of everything, is better than that one that spins around, and they say that one's not as good for you. The juice that comes from that is the one that presses the juice out. So we got the one that presses the juice out. It takes a lot longer, but we're committed, and Mr. Bucky especially, you know, wants that kind of juice. So we're going to be doing some of that, and probably replace maybe supper, because we don't really eat much at supper, but we do eat something, you know, maybe a little sandwich or something, and we just really have one big meal a day. So anyway, this is the cholesterol numbers, and I can definitely see that the green smoothies have for sure made a difference, because I was headed way up. I really was. Anyway, let me see if you can see that. Let me show you that first. There's my blood pressure, which was really great, but then my blood pressure always runs low. And so there are the numbers. I don't know, you can't see that very well, I know. And there are the lipids, low density lipids. Yeah. So this time on my paperwork, it said that the let me find it where it's cholesterol. Here's, I don't know if y'all's paperwork does this or says this or not from your lab, but it says appearance lipid profile hazy, and the ones I had before, it always said clear. So I thought, wow, what could that mean? And my doctor didn't even know what that meant. I said, what does that mean? He said, I don't know. So if your own doctor doesn't know, but anyway, I called the lab, and I asked the lady there what that meant, and she said it really doesn't mean anything other than when we looked at it, it appeared hazy, just because we could see the cholesterol. That's all it really meant. And she said some doctors want that and some don't really care about it. It doesn't really mean anything. What means something is what the actual numbers were, you know, from your blood. That's what means something. But anyway, so I was okay with my results. I really was. See if you can see it if I hold it back there. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at my screen and I can't see it very well. I think I've made that pretty clear. Now, the way you do to get your total cholesterol number is you get your triglyceride number and you take 20% of that, and then you add that total back to your LDL and your HDL, and that would be your total cholesterol number. And again, so mine is 228. And it's not perfect, but I think we can get it down, and I think we can do some juicing, and that's going to help a lot. Now, I want to just mention this to you. years ago, like when I was vegetarian, I'm thinking I was vegetarian for really almost 4 years. Of course, my numbers were fantastic, right? Blood pressure was great. Of course, that's always great, but my LDL was, down low. My HDL was way up, and I remember down in Charleston one time when they did the check the blood, and I remember the little nurse. It was a guy nurse, and he was going, "Look at these numbers! Look at these numbers!" And he said, "We've never seen numbers like this." He said, "You just must be really, really healthy." And I had to tell him, I said, "No, I mean, I might be healthy, but the main thing that I was doing back then is I drank the low salt V8 juice, and I usually drank 2 glasses a day. I just loved it. And that definitely changed the numbers big time. It really does. But anyway, you can get the little kits in Walmart in the drug pharmacy part. And I don't know if you can still get them because we haven't done that in a couple of years, but you can get the little test where you can test your HDL, and you can get the one where you can check your LDL. Now, I don't remember if they had the triglyceride or not, but for sure you can check your own LDL and your HDL. Now, the little kits cost some money. I'm remembering like $20 maybe. Of course, I don't know what it would be now, or even if they still sell it, but you can definitely get those little kits and check your own. Of course, you can also, when you go to the doctor, they're going to check it, and if anything, is out of whack a little bit, they're going to want to recheck it probably in a couple of months. But you can definitely get those little kits at Walmart and check your own. And we were doing that. I was especially doing it when I was vegetarian. I wasn't really vegetarian. I was really vegan. I didn't eat any kind of animal product whatsoever, nothing. And when you do that, of course, your blood work looks fantastic, because it is fantastic. But anyway, I went back to, Mr. Bucky never did completely go off meat like I did, but his numbers were really good too. So if you lay off the animal products, your numbers are going to be great. But I know, most people aren't going to do that, because we're in a society where we have to have our meat. I mean, any restaurant you go to, the main entree is always going to be some kind of animal product most of the time, unless you go to a vegan restaurant or one of these Indian restaurants, or the Pakistan, or the Middle East type restaurants where they're vegetarian. But anyway, so that's all. I'm just rambling now. I'm not super happy with my numbers. I think they could be a lot better. And there was one other factor that entered in to my numbers. And I hadn't even mentioned this to y'all, but I was in a wreck the 9th of December. And what happened was a lady plowed into the back of me. She was on the cell phone. So make a note, stay off the cell phone when you're in traffic. I mean, it's bad, okay? So she's on the cell phone just running her mouth, and bam, right into the back of me. And the main thing, I got some injuries, and but I injured my foot because it slammed my foot into the really actually under the brake pedal. And so I had to stop the walking. In fact, I haven't walked since really December the 8th, I think, was the last day I walked. And but anyway, I'm fine. I'm having to do physical therapy and whatever and other things, but I'm sure in the end I'm going to be fine. But anyway, I wanted to mention that because exercise gets rid of LDL. That's what it does. Because your body actually burns up the cholesterol. That's what it uses for fuel. And so if you can exercise, you're going to have a better cholesterol panel than if you don't do any exercise. So exercise is a good thing to do with lowering your cholesterol, getting your numbers down lower. And I mean, I feel like if I had been able to do, more exercise, I could have gotten mine down even lower. And I'm going to be working on that as soon as my foot gets okay and I can do, some walking. So anyway, that's that. And so I told you I'd share the numbers with you, and there they are. And they are what they are, right? I do think the green smoothies are making a big difference. And I think I've got to quit eating so many sweets, I mean, I don't think I eat that many anyway, but I do love to make cakes. And the Mississippi mud pie was the best thing. Oh, it was so good. But I need to, maybe cut back on that and maybe increase my vegetables a little more. And then of course, do the exercise. And then everything's going to be fine. I'll be back to normal again. All right, so I hope this helps y'all. And I hope that if you haven't had your cholesterol checked, just go get a kit from Walmart. Do your own. I mean, that's still really cheaper than going to the doctor, isn't it? Even if I think they're $20 each for 20 for the LDL and 20 for the HDL. Or you might be able to get them cheaper somewhere else. I don't know. But you can definitely check your own. All right, so that's all I've got. And I do think this kind of proves to me, I don't know if y'all see that or not, but it definitely proves to me the green smoothies are making a difference. They really are. And I know they're making a difference in the way we feel, and we both lost weight. So what more can you ask for, right? And they're good. They're really good. All right, see y'all next time.